Ciao ragazzi, this is Katie Portanova, and you're listening to Florence and Me. I'm a lover of stories and all things Italian, and I'm going to bring you all that in this podcast. My intention is to inspire you to step out of your comfort zone and explore life and travel the world. Join me as I tell you my story and many others about Italy and my love, Florence. Andiamo! Ciao, everybody. I'm back. It has been a very busy few weeks, and I have not recorded, and I've been wanting to record, and I apologize. So I thought, since some trips are coming up for a lot of us, some people are going to Italy, some people are going other places, I thought I'd talk about how to travel with ease, especially going to a place you've never been. So some of the things that I've come across talking to new travelers to Florence, to Italy, they don't think about certain things about their trip. And what do I mean by that? Is they forget that, oh, I'm the one that's carrying my bags. Or who's driving me where? Are we driving someplace? Do we know how to do that? What's it like driving in Italy? How do I get to the trains? Like all these questions that you kind of think that it's the same as being at home. And I just want to clarify that these are some of the questions that have come up for me when I talk to these new travelers. One is, how long will you be traveling? Is the question I always ask. So if it's 10 days and you're going to 5 different cities, that's a lot of traveling. And you don't think about it when you're packing, you don't think about it when you're on the airplane, but when you get onto the ground and let's say you're not renting a car, that's a lot of traveling by train and by bus. So the next question is usually, how heavy are your bags? Now, a lot of you say, oh, I'm a great packer. I know how to count how many underwear I need, pairs of underwear I need, and like socks and everything. But I know a lot of you are like me, who just randomly shove crap into your suitcase thinking that you're going to use it. The example I always give is that I always seem to think that I need chapstick when I go on vacation, and I don't wear chapstick. There's probably 4 or 5 chapsticks that I find in my bag. The thing I normally use and I stuff my bag with is Kleenex, because my nose is always running. So think about those things that you use daily. Those are the things you put in your bag. The third question that comes up is, do you plan on driving? Because if you do, yeah, sure, you can bring a huge bag. But you also have to think about, I have to bring my bag to the hotel or to the B&B or to wherever you're going to stay. Are you going to be able to carry that bag? Okay, maybe you're picking up your car in a different city, in a smaller city, so you're training it. You're going to take a train from the airport. You're going to have to carry that bag onto the train. Now, trains usually have an overhead kind of compartment that's open, like it's like a grate that you have to lift your bag up and put it up there. Now, the test is, once you get all your stuff in the bag, I challenge you to pick up your bag and put it over your head like you're doing an overhead press. If you cannot do that, you need to take stuff out of your bag, because you will be doing that a lot if you're taking the train, if you're bringing your bag in and out of the car. Excuse me. Oh, it's a sleepy day. As I think about this. So think about, if you can carry that bag over your head, hold it over your head, then it's fine. But imagine going from one train to another, picking it up, bringing it on, picking it up, bringing it on. You got to think about those things, okay? Because if you have bad back or bad anything, lugging a bag around that's too heavy, that's too much stuff, it's just going to be a pain of your existence on this trip. The last question that I usually ask is, do you know how far your destinations are from each other? So if we go back to our train example, usually trains are not quick. There's one that's quick, the Frecciarossa or Frecciargento if you're in the north. But they only go to the big cities. So if you're going from Rome to Florence, great. It's like an hour. Okay. But if you're going to the town where we're having my retreat, which is Castel Fiorentino, you're going to be taking a regional train, regionale. And those trains can be slow, depending on where you're coming from. So, again, calculating that time. Because the thing that people never calculate is the time between one destination to the next. And I always hear people when they do like a long trip, if it's 2 weeks, if it's 5 days or 10 days, they are always tired at the end. They can't wait to go home because they have come on and off trains. They're driving back and forth. They're going from all these different places and they're lugging their bags like back and forth. So think about not carrying or not adding so many things to your itinerary. Maybe you stay 5 days in one place and then 5 days in another, so you can kind of get to know the area. So you're not rushing from Rome to Venice to Florence to a small B&B in the middle of Tuscany. You're not going to enjoy it. I'll tell you that right now. You're not going to enjoy it. So that's definitely one of my biggest things that I say to people. The most important thing is that you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to remember where you had that meal. When you took a picture of that pasta, you're not going to remember what church that was because you're exhausted and you're carrying your bags from one train to another. So think about these things as you're planning your trip. I'm going to go back to driving. Those of you that like to drive, driving in Italy is quite different, okay? Because in the States, we drive in one way, in the sense that a lot of the times when we go on the expressways, at least where I live, people like to zigzag in and out of traffic. In Italy, not so much, okay? When you're on the autostrada or the superstrada, which is the 2-lane highway or the 6-lane highway or the 3-lane highway, you always have to pass on the left. And that's something I've had to tell every one of my clients that have come to me that decided they wanted to drive. I have to remind them, you only pass on the left. You cannot pass on the right. The right-hand lane is for slow driving, just like in the States. But if you're in the left-hand lane and you're going slow, what you're going to get is a car behind you flashing their brights at you to move over. That's what that means. So they're not going to pass you on the right. Very important when you're driving. The other thing that is something we don't think about, especially when you're in a different country, is the tolls. So when you're on the autostrada, there's 3 different ways how you can pay. The one way you cannot, because it's automatic. It's the telepass, which is the residents have that. But the other ways are with cash, which is basically coins. So you're going to have coins, or you can easily use your credit card. And I recently wrote a blog post on this. You can see the pictures of which lane to go in. So the yellow sign that says carte, which looks like a credit card, that's the one you would do. Only your credit card. So make sure you have that out. Not a debit card. Do not use a debit card. Use a credit card. And then the sign that's white and has coins or bills or euro bills on it, that's where you pay with cash only. Sometimes you'll find tolls that you can pay with a card or cash, but you have to make sure you're in the right lane because you do not want to be backing up when there's a bunch of Italians honking behind you to try to get into a different lane. So, carte, remember, credit cards. When the money's the sign with the money and the coins, make sure you have coins. Usually you're going to need just coins. I wouldn't really want to use a 20 euro bill to pay for a toll because it's not usually that much. Um, Another thing that I have created, which I'm going to put on my website eventually, is those of you that like to travel by train or would rather travel by train than driving, is I've created some videos on how to purchase your ticket online, and also how to validate your ticket if you buy a paper ticket in person, how to buy your ticket in the self-service machines, and also how to read your ticket. The old-timey tickets, because the tickets that you can buy online, they look completely different than the ones I feel I was going to say grew up with, because I've been going there for 20 years, so the tickets have been the same for me for the longest time. So if you're interested in that, keep a lookout for a bill of on my website to purchase a bundle of these videos. They're not very long, for you to, learn on how to buy your tickets. Something I like to give to you guys that like to travel a lot. Let's see. So if you're looking for something stress-free, already planned, completely taken care of, that's where my retreats come in. Because my retreats are made and created for you, the traveler that wants to see Italy and be immersed in Italy in the most authentic way possible. You will feel grounded, connected, and recharged by the end of the trip, by the end of the week when you join us. You'll leave with new friendships with Italians. You might even speak a little bit of Italian after you're done, or understand it a little bit. Those are some of the feedback I've got on my last retreat, is that they felt like they could understand Italian by the end, because me and Stefano would speak Italian, me and my mother-in-law Fernanda, and anywhere we went, like I'd speak Italian to my friends, or the places we would have to lunch and stuff like that. It's a really beautiful experience if you really like to just be one with the culture and one with the people, and really learn about the history of each town that we go to, learn about the history of the places like the vineyards, or some of the workshop places that we're going to go. If that's you, then you need to be getting on a call with me, and we're going to talk about your next retreat to Tuscany. You'll be definitely traveling with ease when you're with me and Stefano. You will not have to worry about one thing. You won't be driving. You won't be having to lug your bags on and off trains. It'll be a very easeful, comfortable, relaxing experience in your own private villa in Tuscany. So if that is anything that ignites something in you, and you really feel like, oh my God, you're speaking my language, Katie, love for you to get on a call with me and talk to you more about what is offered in each of the retreats. Because I have one in September 2024, the 7th through the 14th. It's like the first week of September. And September's a beautiful time to go to Tuscany, because that's when they start harvesting the grapes. It's still very warm. There's just so much, there's so much to do in that time. And it's not as chaotic as it is in August and July. So, and I have an early bird price still going on. So if you book by July 31st of this year, 2023, you'll get $300 off. I mean, it's a great deal. So yeah, I'm going to put a link of my Candly appointment, so you can book a call through Zoom with me if you're interested in booking a retreat. I also do private retreats. So if you want to do a girls trip, or you want to do a family trip, we can do it all. I would love to. I love taking people that are like willing to immerse themselves. They enjoy being off the beaten path. They enjoy asking questions. They enjoy, they just enjoy being not attached to their phones for a week. They really want to disconnect. They really want to have an authentic experience. And that's what you do with Truly Italy. So yeah, I'm excited about that. After the September retreat, I have coming up in July 2024, a 10-night retreat in Florence. That's going to be amazing. I am meeting with the owner of that B&B in September, this September. I can't wait to meet her. It's going to be an amazing experience for you guys. 10 days in my home away from home. I cannot wait to share it with you. Another opportunity to see Florence for 10 nights, 9 days, 10 nights, fully immersed, be able to walk to all the piazzas and have a coffee when you want, and go to any of the museums that you want. That retreat is going to be organized and everything with activities, but there's going to be a lot of downtime for you to explore, and I'll be happy to give you recommendations for restaurants and places to see, and yeah, landmarks, because Florence is like a walking tour museum. You can just walk around. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Just wanted to come on here. I've got some other episodes planned. I'll get them out there for you. Thank you for everyone that's listening. Remember, I still have that SpeakPipe link. Again, I'll put it in the notes if you want to ask a question. Also, my Instagram, if you want to Instagram me and ask me a question that way. Totally cool. But yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, or buongiorno, buonasera, buonanotte, wherever you are. And I'll see you on the next podcast episode. A presto. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. I am beyond grateful for you listening to my podcast right now. I am so excited to share my journey of living abroad and all of my stories of Florence and Italy and all the places in between that I've visited. If this has reached you in any way and you would like to continue, please subscribe now. Also, go check out my website, trulyitaly.tours, for all my travel experiences. Ci si vede. Ciao.